on wax.
And we're back.
Flying solo.
Ooh, feels
cool
good.
guys.
Give the people what they want.
That's right.
Oh man, I'm excited. How are you doing, Johnny? You doing good? You feeling good?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You look great. I'm doing well. I have an update on a previous topic. I don't know if this is a new segment where we update old topics.
Sure. No, well, we usually do that every 100 episodes, but we can start doing it more
Okay.
often.
Well, we're going to the well a little earlier than 104 is how long we lasted. But this just happened, so I feel like I have to. Another show Monday night with a cordless mic, and another abject disaster. So this one was even funnier because I go for the sound. It wasn't working at the sound check, and I was like, and there was this like humming buzz going on, and it was a pretty small room. But there's a little buzzing hum, and I'm like, what is that? What's that sound? That doesn't sound good. And they're like, I don't know, And I was like,
I don't know. We'll figure it out during the show.
and I was like, yeah, you guys don't have corded mics? Like, no, this is good. We got lots of batteries. I'm like, great. Can you just change them out like right before I go on? Oh, yeah. You'll be good. And of course, immediately starts cutting out, saying low bat on the thing. I'm like, hey, can somebody get some batteries? But these guys weren't sound. This was at a hotel. It was like a corporate gig at a hotel. So these guys weren't sound guys. They were like just regular maintenance people, So he comes out with these but he's got first of all, he has butter all over his hands because he's also like doing the dishes. So he hands me I'm on stage trying to do a show. He hands me a variety of different types of buttery batteries that I get to choose of what goes into this microphone. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh.
And then so I go, no, man, I don't have time to. One, that's a lot of butter. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that in.
I'm like picturing this happening while you're on stage.
Yeah, I was on stage. Yeah.
This is mid-show?
This is mid-show. This is like, I'm like 10 minutes in. And people are like, hey, we can't hear, it's cutting out. I'm like,
he comes
okay.
up with a bunch of butter-covered
So he comes up with these
batteries.
butter-filled batteries and asks me to I don't even know how to open up the mic to put the batteries in,
Yeah.
So he takes it, right? This is the best part. So I'm like, you know what? Just this room was just small enough that I felt like I really didn't need the mic. It's a detracting at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do it a cappella, right? And so it's fine. I'm going into the next bit, and then I hear in the audio just dishes clanging around. He's got the mic on in the kitchen. And it works, and it's working perfectly.
Crystal clear.
So it's like, then it goes on for like 5 minutes.
You just hear him mumbling fucking cow.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying. I was like, oh,
batteries.
this guy's going to talk shit about me, and we're all going to hear it. But, and then eventually they tried again. Of course, it didn't work, and then that was it. So, guys, I mean, I just don't know how many more examples I need. Just cords and mics, please, for the love of God.
Yeah. Yes. There is no advantage. I mean,
None.
maybe there are some comedians that prefer it, but I don't understand why. Me, I don't need it.
The only I guess the only advantage to a cordless mic would be unlimited moving around.
Yeah.
But most comics aren't walking through the crowd like Rickles,
Right.
And even if you were, Rickles did that with a corded mic. They just had a long cord, so it's possible.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and I will say though, have you ever done a show with a really, really, really short cord?
Oh yeah.
That's not fun either. When you literally can't lean one way or the other.
Yeah.
And you just feel tethered to this amp.
Do you ever do ones that are attached to a podium?
Oh yeah, where you're giving a speech, where it feels like
you're
pounding the table and what's that lady?
That's when you what lady?
Oh, who was Madonna in that movie? Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Avita?
That's Avita. Yeah,
Oh, I never saw that.
me neither. But I imagine her at one of those podiums.
Okay. All
We
right.
should watch Avita. That's a
Yeah,
good
we'll watch
homework
it
for us.
together. We'll watch. You know what? We'll watch it together, and we'll record it on the Patreon.
Yeah, that's what the people are
We'll do Mystery
demanding.
Science Theater, whatever,
For Avita.
2000 for the Patreon.
We should
With
we
Avita.
that should be a rule on the podcast. Anytime one of us references something from a movie we haven't seen, we have to go then watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's a good rule. I'm just making that up.
That would be funny if we did do that. We watched Evita as a joke to do commentary over it. We record it, but we just forget and we just watch it, and there's no commentary. You just hear us coughing every couple minutes.
Just loudly chewing jelly beans.
Pretty good movie. Yeah.
You have a bathroom? Will you pause it? I gotta check an email.
There's like 10-minute pauses in the middle of it.
That is hilarious. Like you think like a Mystery Science Theater, they come out hot and it's like snarky, and then they just forget the movie's too good, and they just think, "Shut up! I'm trying to watch this." God, rewind it, please. This idiot was
I missed
talking.
it. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Next Patreon episode. It's gonna be the worst
we go.
Mystery Science Theater you've ever seen.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Great. All of
Oh!
my siblings are married. All of my siblings are married.
You got them all married off. Good job,
I
Johnny.
did it. I did it. It took me a while on this last one, but I did it. I did it.
How was the affair?
Oh, it was great. It was just wonderful. It was my kids. The wedding was great. The reception, like, it was everyone circled around the kids, and the kids just did these crazy dances. I'm sure their self-esteem is through the roof because they all felt like rock stars as everyone would circle around them and cheer as they danced very weirdly. But it was great. It was
Your
fantastic.
self-esteem was good until you said they danced very weirdly.
Well, they won't hear this till they're older.
Oh, that's true. How does it work with kids at a wedding? Or like when the kids go to bed, you guys go to bed, or did you figure out like some sort of babysitting? Or
Well, this was probably the this was probably the earliest I've ever gone to bed on a wedding night because it started early, so it was like a 3:00 ceremony, and it just went right into the reception, and so the reception was done at like, I don't know, by 10 or 9:30 or 10 or something, and then they went to a tiki bar or something after party, but a lot of us went home with our kids to tuck them in, and I had a flight that left at 7 a.m. thanks to the airline changing our flight from 11 to 7 a.m. So we had to get up at like 4:30 to fill the rental car, return it, take the shuttle back to the airport, get up, and all that. So I was probably in bed by 11.
we're going to my brother's wedding in Boston on New Year's Eve, so it's like you have to at least make it to midnight. So we have to figure out something like a way, find a babysitter, I guess, or something to watch Ginger while we party.
While you party.
Yeah.
They had, instead of cake, they had donuts, and so our kids had a lot of donuts.
Oh,
and
like full-size donuts? Or like,
full-size cake donuts.
oh, hell yeah.
And soda. Our kids they never have soda unless they're like with their cousins or, family get-togethers.
Oh, so
They were all hopped up on
sugar.
sneaking sodas and all sorts of stuff.
They're on crack.
Yeah.
What are your kids' favorite kind of soda? I'm trying to remember. I think like root beer is like the perfect.
They literally
soda.
don't know. I mean,
They just whatever. They're like,
they don't have. I mean, yeah. If we give them Sprite, which doesn't have caffeine, so
okay.
that's good. But I mean, when they're with their cousins in Omaha, who knows what they're having? I don't know, Coke, Mr. Pitt or Dr.
good
Pepper,
stuff.
whatever. I don't know. Yeah, the good stuff.
Do they complain? Like, do they come home and like, why can't we have soda? Or they just know like
No, because yeah, they just know we've never had it. They never have. I mean, when I buy it, if I'm grocery shopping and I buy it, they're like, "Dad, that's bad. That's bad for you. That's not healthy."
you're like you don't know
Yeah,
half of
yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm a dad.
You're like, you should see what I eat when you're not paying attention.
Yeah, you have no idea, son. This soda is the least of our problems.
This is like the healthiest thing I'll have today. So if I were you, I'd just shut up.
Don't tell your mother.
But you were in Seattle.
I missed you by what? 24 hours?
Yeah. I probably drove right by you.
Oh my gosh, was that you? Someone
Yeah,
drove by and gave us the finger.
That was my Prius. Another close call yesterday. I had to drive to Newport for that gig with the cordless mic, and another Trump truck almost murdered me. And the thing was, I was going way faster than the truck, this big ass truck, but it was going like 65 miles an hour, and I'm going significantly faster than that, passing him. But then there was a car, in the left lane now blocking me, and it was that thing where there's a semi coming up on the right, and this guy is going very slow. So then the Trump truck, still going slower at the same about speed, about like 65, he's coming up quick on the semi, and he wants to like cut in front of me now, in between me and the car in front of me. And I'm like, no, just get behind me, man. It's not that big a deal. And he, like, literally, I have to slam on. He cuts over, like I had to. If I hadn't
calling your bluff,
hit the brake, he was calling my bluff. If I hadn't hit the brake, he would have hit me. Gives me the finger and all this stuff, and then he gets in front of the semi and I just zoom by him. I'm like, what was that for? Like,
What a moron.
Anyway, sorry, I derailed.
Did you ever get your car fixed from being smashed into a wall?
No.
Oh,
no, but I think. Do you have the full? You probably have the full coverage. I think I'm gonna get the full coverage insurance because it's like impossible to get a new car, like a used car, a new car. Like cars are very expensive. They're only gonna get worse. They were saying so. I would probably be smart to protect the car a little better. So.
Well, what do you mean? The car you currently have?
Yeah. Because I don't have.
Just
I don't have.
Yeah, to avoid it getting totaled.
Right. I don't have good insurance. Like I have the like collision, and then I think uninsured motorist, but that's it. So I should probably load up.
I don't know. I think that's what we have. Like, because we haven't both paid off, and as soon as I pay off a car, I switch to the cheapest.
Yeah. I know, and normally I've always had the cheap insurance because I was like, I don't care if it gets a ding or.
Yeah.
But then I was like, man, I would be kind of screwed
if it got
like if something happened to it, because then like it's tight right now,
Yeah.
So.
Well, as long as it's not your fault, right?
I guess.
I mean, and
but
they
like
don't drive off.
I don't know. In Portland, someone could just come and steal my radiator or something, and then I don't know who covers that, So.
Does insurance cover that?
I think so. I know that if like when they stole my catalytic converter, I know that if I'd had the good insurance, they would have covered that. It still would have cost me some money, but I would have got.
I feel like they would say, okay, you have to file a police report, go to court 3 times, and after you do that, then we cover it.
Yeah, you're probably right. But like, it's funny because I would have gotten like the real Prius catalytic converter back, and my car would. But now I got the like cheap $800 one from the one they probably stole from somebody else. Yeah. We talked about all this, but it's so loud. And now my car is very loud. It's like doesn't sound like a Prius at all.
Oh, wow.
So
frustrating.
Very frustrating. But
that's neither here nor there.
Do you dance at the wedding? Do you dance?
I did. I'm so self-conscious. Yeah, I dance like a total dork. I'm just a dork dancer. And I'm very self-conscious. And someone posted a video from like far away of everyone at the dance floor, and I saw myself, and I was just like, "Oh, yep,
it's the worst."
That's what I was afraid I looked like, and that is what I look like.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You got to get drunk enough to where you really aren't. You have no inhibitions. But then if you do get that drunk, and anyone takes video of that dancing, that's like a nightmare.
That's true, but like I do still dance because. It's
you have to.
It's a family thing, so I'm like, I don't care. They all know me, I'm not like I'm literally not embarrassed, but it's like, oh, I am self-conscious because I do just look like a white dork,
Yeah.
But whatever. Not the only one.
No. I can't imagine it.
No.
It's probably plenty of white people to go around.
Hey, can I? Okay, so I have. You have not checked the reviews, have you?
Oh no, what?
All right, so I'll read this.
Okay.
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie responded.
Mike's back, but it's not no. So Carrie, who we've talked about on the podcast before,
She
our
just to recap.
Guest, yeah, you recap and then I'll read this.
She's very anti-guest and thinks if they want to promote their albums, they should go on their own podcast.
Right. And said we are lazy for having stupid topics and talking about our dishwashers. However, she sought us out and commented on our YouTube channels. Very flattering. And you know what? I got to give it to her. She is engaging. She is interacting with us, leaving feedback.
Time out.
What?
You know the compliment's going to be good when you pause that long searching for a word. You got to give it to her. She is what? There's a word here. No, not that. Engaging.
It sounded bad, but it's only because I'm so stupid and literally did not know what the word was. I was trying to think of the word. Okay. So anyways, but I got to give her credit because, week after week we are telling people, give us your topics.
That is true.
Leave reviews. And so when Carrie or Kyle or Kevin, it's a shame that I can count on 4 fingers after 104 episodes. How many people?
Carrie, Kyle, and Kevin, the KKK, supporting the Cavalry.
That's right. We're going to call you guys the KKK fan club.
Don't people have a name for their podcast fans?
What the fuckers?
Exactly.
Next?
We have the KKK.
Yeah, we have the KKK fans. All right, all you KKKers out there. Okay, so here's what she put. And I couldn't find, Carrie, I don't know if you deleted your old, can you delete reviews? Because now I can't find her old one.
Oh, maybe we went on too much about it and then she deleted
Well,
it.
no, because she's not, here we go. I am a Gen X female who loves something that starts with G. I don't know, this is a screenshot, so I don't know what it was.
Grenades.
So I can't tap more. Seriously, with the content gold you have been putting out for the last 102 episodes, it's hard for me to believe that you have only 40 listeners. Now, folks, that's
not true.
That's not
Who
true.
Said that?
She's saying that because we probably said that. I think we said that last week.
We have like
well over 40.
Well over 40. Clear 40 just about every week.
Carrie, we were being feces. However,
were you honestly trying to say facetious, or were you doing a bit?
I did it on purpose.
You did that very
well. I
well.
didn't accidentally say feces.
We were being feces.
You're being feces. However, I can see how 31 of us might not like all the guests. It really jumped the shark with the goat cheese episode. Shout out to Kevin Bozeman. Is there an email? Is there an email address I can contact you? Following is a list of pre-show banter topics that might get your juices flowing. Respectfully, your pal forever, Carrie Mahoney.
Is one of them going to be comprehensive insurance on your vehicle?
Because we covered it.
Because we did that.
All right, so now it's just a slew of topics that are actually good jumping points for. I mean, we should sell this to like a morning radio show because it's good. All right, so I'll just fly through that. I'll just do this really fast, and then if we want to go back and talk about it, we can. Ever have any roommates? What's your worst hangover story? What did you get in trouble for as a kid? prom stories? What's the dumbest thing you ever did? Earliest memory? Did you get spanked? School bus stories? What was your first car? Rumors you believed? Celebrity crush? What was invented slash brought to the market during your lifetime? Did you help plan your wedding? What part did you take, if any? What is your pet peeve you have about other parents? First job, worst job, F, marry, kill, Golden Girls. Have you ever drunk, cried? So that's great topics.
That's great. Great topics. I also feel like if this feels like Carrie is like teaching like a 4th grade class on how to do a podcast. She's like, she likes
this
us.
This is the workshop, or this is the worksheet.
Yeah, but she's like, guys, it's very simple. People want to hear interesting things. And right now, you're doing a good job of talking, and you're putting it out. That's good too. But they want to hear the interesting. So here's just some. It feels like the Judy Carter book for podcasts.
Right. So if we're ever in a lull, we should just pull up this.
Dude, I love it. I love all those.
I know.
Although I think we've done first car before. You have a great first car story. At least the one where you bought 2 Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
That
You know
was
what's
great.
fun? You know what's funny? This is odd that you say that. So I did have a car after I sold both Mustangs because I couldn't afford the insurance or the car payment. I got a car just a family car that my brothers and mom or whatever had in Omaha. So I got like a super old used Honda. What is it? Whatever. And it was so the car. This story of this car was part of the best man speech at my brother's wedding, because he told a story about how it would collect water. Yeah, we talked about it, right. It would collect water on the inside. You had the similar thing. So he told that story, and then, but yeah. So later on, after my brother's experienced that whole thing and didn't tell me about it, I got the same car, and then I got water dumped on me, and they laughed about it when it happened to me.
See, there you go. First car story.
There you go. That's me.
Not
telling
well,
it
now,
in a
now
nutshell, and not even really explaining what happened.
I feel like we kind of wasted that one now too. Like shit, we needed that. What was another good one on there? I've already forgotten.
Let's see here. Have you ever had any roommates?
Oh yeah. Okay, well,
yes, we have. Moving on.
Of course, every comedian has had many roommates.
Can I tell you a terrible, like, this is almost embarrassing, but I moved in one of my places after graduating college, like second place or second or third after my own place. I moved in with a girl and a guy that, was it two? Yeah, a girl and a guy. The girl was friends with my ex-girlfriend who I had recently broken up with. And that's just stupid. That's just dumb common sense. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You know? Why would I want to keep that connection, whatever? So anyway, so they went to show me the house. I went to go look at it, and they're like, well, your room's in here. They're like, you can't, the guy is still in there right now, and he's sleeping. So I didn't even get to see the room that would be mine.
Oh.
It was on the 3rd floor. But I was like, whatever, the house seems fine. Yeah, this should be fine. Whatever. Okay, fine. It's a room. All right. So I signed the stuff. I'm committed. I signed everything. I see my room for the first time. I can't stand up in my room. The ceiling is lower than my head. And that was my bedroom.
When we were... It's just so fun. Only you would sign papers on a lease. On a place.
You know, we bought this house sight unseen, right?
Oh,
I bought this house. Her mom went through it, and her friend, but we hadn't seen it till we had signed buying this house.
You hear stories about that now because like the housing market's so tight. People go, here we'll pay you over what you're asking. We don't need an inspection. It could literally be on fire, whatever. Just we want. But when Heidi and I were looking for houses, it wasn't that competitive. And at least here in Portland, and we looked at a few, and there was this one she loved, and it wasn't in the greatest neighborhood, but the house was just very cute or whatever, and they had redone it very well, and the backyard was great. But then there was in the main bed, all the bedrooms were upstairs, and in none of the bedrooms could I stand all. It was like an old house. I couldn't stand all the way up
Because the ceiling was too low?
Yeah, because the ceiling was too low. So similar problem because it was like a really old house, right? And I kept telling Heidi like, yeah, it's great, but obviously we can't buy that. She's like, yeah, but I mean, you'd be sleeping most of the time. I was like, Heidi, we're not gonna buy a house where I can't stand up in any of the bedrooms. I'm sorry. She's like, no, yeah, you're right. And then she'd just keep talking, but that backyard was so great. Oh, and that kitchen, they redid that kitchen so well. Yeah, it's just a shame, huh? I mean, you wouldn't really need, I mean, you could kind of crouch, and so she was really angling for it. But
That is funny.
I put my foot down.
You know what didn't make sense is I could stand up outside the bedroom on the same floor, but then you go in the bedroom, and for some reason the ceiling was lower or the ground was high. I don't remember, but it's the same level. It's just in my bedroom, the ceiling.
Maybe it was just like your ex-girlfriend punking you. Like they quickly went in and put in a false ceiling, to like torture you.
That was awful. Because they assured me they were going to live there for a long time. And then right after I signed the lease, I'd lived there a month. They're like, the guy moved out, so it's just me and the girl. And then the girl was like, hey, I'm going to take a job in Chicago. Do you know any friends that would want to? And so all of a sudden it became my responsibility to fill the house that this other girl owned. I was like, I'm moving out. It was terrible.
Everybody left. Well,
but the house we lived in Waukesha before we moved to LA, I couldn't stand in the basement. And I was fine with it. I was like, it has a pool table. I'll just go like this. It's fine.
So you were living in the basement?
No, it was just our basement. I mean, it was a finished basement. It was like half finished, kind of.
Oh, and you couldn't stand up. But that's like the basement. I mean, that's different.
That was the basement.
I can barely stand up in the basement where I am right now, but it's like not finished. So there's like beams I have to. So if we finished it, it would be like no one could stand up.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why it's not finished. But
yeah.
Well, this is great.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie. That was
You're
interesting.
Allowing us to be even lazier than we were without your help.
We had my roommate situation in LA. We had a I don't know if I've ever told this story before. So we had 3 comics in a 2-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood, and it's the only way we could afford it. So we used sheets to kind of section off a room. It was a big living room. So we put our friend Brian Moot in the sheet room. He paid less.
I hope so.
And he did, like, I think a few times successfully bring girls back to the show, which is just like a difficulty level setting that's so high. So kudos to Brian for ever getting a girl to come back to the sheet room is pretty amazing. But so one time, and also we would always have comedians crashing. It wasn't enough that we also had literally an extra person in the living room. Always, like the whole time I lived there, somebody was on the couch or on a futon in the corner. We always had people staying there because we were right in the middle of Hollywood,
How did Brian ever play with his pickle?
I mean, he had sheets. There were sheet walls. What do you? I mean.
Oh, okay. Say no more.
I don't know. So.
Actually, you know what? Can you find out?
Oh yeah, I'll call. You know what? Let me call him. and I'm thinking of an actual pickle. It's like, yeah, it would be hard without a wall to throw your pickle around. Right. But so one time he was gone. He was on the road or something. And I have this idea. It's like, you know what? It would be cool. And I was like, I'd worked construction, when I was in college and right after college. So it's like, I'm gonna build it out. Like, I'm just gonna build walls and make him I'm gonna frame it and get some drywall and like build a real room for this guy. Yeah. And so I call my brother and we buy the lumber at Home Depot and put it all together and frame it and build it and stuff. just putting nails right into the carpet and everything. And
Of this place you're renting.
of this place we're renting.
This is
But I was like,
illegal?
of course. But
Isn't
the
there
guy, but
coding you have to do?
it was illegal to have 3 people in there, you know. But the
Oh.
guy was this old, you know, kind of, I don't know if he's Russian or whatever, but he, you know, everything was like our credit was no good, so he was willing to let everything slide and all that. So I build these walls, and Brian comes home, he sees it, and he he's like, oh, he was like, I think he was touched, but he was like, that's cool, you know, he has these walls now. But I didn't know what was code, so I built the door frame like it was a little like skinny, and he's like a big dude. And the first time he was either coming in or out. The first time I hear it is just boom, and his shoulder hits the side. I was like, oh, should have made that a little wider, I guess. Just shakes the whole. But then, like a day later, the landlord or the building manager comes up, who never came into the apartment like the whole time. But he came in because all the neighbors had complained because we were making so much noise building these walls. So he looks at it. He's like, what the fuck is this? You got to take this down right now. But then I was like, oh, man, it's all right. Like, come on. We'll take it down when we move out. Like, who cares? You know, they were sheet walls anyway. Like, what's the difference? And he's like, well, there's, you know. So then he goes, this is what he said. He's like, you can leave them up, but you have to pay me an extra $300 a month rent.
What?
Yeah, he was extorting us. So he was, which of course he was just going to pocket and not give to the landlord. But he was, in his mind, it was like, this is just me bearing risk. So I want and we were like, no. So I just took down the walls, and I actually sold the lumber, and that was the end of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. You're not going to be black.
No, I won't be black, man. I wish I could remember that dude's name. He had tragically had a child die or something, and one time he cornered Brian and he showed him he just went through a whole like a 30-page photo album showing him all these pictures. And it was like it took up like a half an hour of Brian, and he's like crying, like really opened up to him.
Jesus Christ.
But it's just weird when you don't know someone very well and then they're that vulnerable, you know?
Yeah.
It was a weird place. Hollywood's crazy. Don't move to Hollywood. If you move to LA, this is my advice to people. If you move to LA, go
Go Culver City.
Be in the Culver City if you can afford Culver City or Santa Monica or Venice or you know, Burbank. I would go to Burbank. There's an Outback there.
In the Valley?
Yeah, in the Valley.
Burbank's in the Valley, right?
Yeah, is Burbank considered the Valley? I don't know. I guess
Where was I? When I lived there in, 2000 and 2001, it was, what's right? Where's the Galleria or whatever? What's that area called? Sherman Oaks.
Glendale.
That's where I lived. Sherman Oaks.
Sherman Oaks. Oh, yeah.
That's where I lived.
Glendale's nice, too. Sherman Oaks, great.
Yep.
Yeah. Not Hollywood. I wouldn't move back to Hollywood.
Not Hollywood.
Well, buddy, that's a lot of pre-show banner.
That
thanks
is.
to
Wow.
Carrie.
Carrie.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it. This is great. Now we don't have to burn as many topics.
I know, which is good news this week.
All right, should we Rochambeau to see who goes first?
Oh, we've never done that before. Okay,
know.
you ready? Best 2 out of 3?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, then throw, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors,
go.
throw.
What?
Okay. That was paper. That was paper. So you beat me.
Maybe there's a delay, but you stalled, but you still went paper after my.
Well, no, it's hard. It's hard to do it over Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, throw.
Shoot.
You beat me. Jesus Christ.
Well, what does that mean? So who goes first?
You win. Oh, you choose then. Now you guess you get to decide.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go first.
What a waste of everyone's time. God, Carrie's review next week is going to be brutal.
It's going to be scathing.
No one can see you playing rock, paper, scissors. This is not a visual medium. Try to remember that. Love the show. You guys are doing
Big
great.
fan. Just pull your heads out of your asses.
It's really like she's like mad at us for not being better because she likes it, but it's like hard for
Right.
her to recommend it to anyone in its current state. She's like, if these guys would just get a little fucking better at this, I could actually promote the
could just
show.
Tap into their potential. I know it's there. All right,
All
so
right.
this is my topic. I think fast food. I didn't even do that on purpose. It's true though.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Go
fast-
back to the list. What else is on there? Inventions? Do an invention.
So fast food places, they should change the format of paying, because you go to a drive-thru and you pay before anything, right? Like you pay before you get your food.
Before you get your food. Yeah.
That's not how it works at dining restaurants. And the reason
A lot of differences.
the reason
You're not in your car.
the reason I don't like it is because there's too many times where I pay and then I get stuck behind fucking, Johnny 14 people in the car, and I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna be late for my show, and I just want to peel out and be like, nah, I changed my mind, but I already paid, so you can't do that. So I think it's like, all right, is everything in here? I got my nuggets. Is the right soda? Okay, all right, now you can have your money, right?
But you just okay. I want to get there, but can I? I have to poke a few holes before I can.
Sure. No, we got to make sure it's airtight.
For the same reason that you would like to, because you said if I'm late, I would just leave. Wouldn't people just get their food and then drive away?
Well, now, no, because it's the same window. It would be like an exchange. It'd be like, all right, here's your food.
Oh yeah, it all happens.
You
at
show me
one.
the money. Like you hold out the money.
Same
Yeah.
time. I mean, and also they bear the risk of that, like you said, dining establishments. Dine
Exactly.
and dash all the time. But I think it's a little. If you're in a car, it's a little more tempting probably for someone to just peel out
That's true.
and run away. But
Just
I'm
make
with
it
you.
The same window. Then just make it
Uh,
the same window.
the other thing I love about your topic is that you're late for your show, but you stopped at Arby's. Like, okay, I should be there with a good 5 minutes before. You know what? I am a little peckish. Not sure if how was the food at that club last time? I better just stop.
I better stop at Arby's. I mean, they have.
I mean, how
meat.
often has it happened to you that you paid and then you realize you're going to be late for something?
It just happened
Oh, okay.
a couple weeks ago. That's why the topic was here. I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
this has happened to me before, but yeah.
No, I think here would be my take. I don't know if what you're saying is completely feasible. I think they could probably do it at the same window,
Mhm.
and then maybe they could come up with like a rental car barrier system. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To keep people from driving off or something.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, the spikes.
Yeah, the backup spikes, and then
Yeah.
having that. God, by the way, have you ever not thought you're about to pop your rental car tires when you drive over? Like,
Oh, almost every time.
I'm never 100% confident that I'm not about to ruin the car when I see those, because they say wrong. You see the signs, don't go this way or don't back up, and you're like, shit. But you know what I mean? I really have to think it through.
Or when they have the spikes up, but then you have to stop right after. I'm like, is my car gonna rock
Yes.
backwards? Like, when you brake and it goes back, am I gonna like lean into the spikes?
I hate the spikes. But I just think here's my hot take on this. The whole drive-through experience is awful. I think the whole drive-through experience is awful, and they should just like come up with, if you're gonna be like that's your model, like you want to get people in and out quick, just do the like park, like the Sonic style. I don't even go to Sonic hardly ever, but like you put like the drive-in.
Why do you like that? Why do you like that better?
I just think it's like quicker, and it's like the drive-through lines, especially like during the height of the pandemic when no one could even go in a restaurant. Drive-through lines were so slow and they're so long, and then like you said, half the time your order's all fucked up, or it takes forever. By the time you get the food, it's like cold, or the French fry thing is like half filled. You never get as many French fries as if you were dining in.
Yeah, and they can be cold because they know you're not gonna fucking come back.
Yeah.
By the way, I do come back.
Yeah.
If I'm not in a hurry, I will go back.
Even if you
I went back at the Taco Bell over by Costco.
You missed your show to go back.
I always have to ask, is the hot sauce in the bag? And they'll be, yes, I'll ask for the hot sauce. Though, yeah, it's in the bag. Because a chili cheese burrito without hot sauce is just not worth it. I mean, it's eatable, but it's not worth it. And I'll say, so I will specify, is it in the bag? Yes. And now I just check right in front of them. They'll be like, yeah, okay. And I'll be like, I'll see about that. But I asked them, and they said yes. And I pulled away, and it was not in the bag. And I got right back in line. And I said, I was told there were sauces in here, and there are no sauces.
But then that situation, like, why not just pull over and run into the restaurant?
Well, I've done that too. But at the time I'm talking about, I was too mad. I needed to make a point. I needed to see the person that lied to my face. They did not give a shit, by the way. They were like, "Oh, what? Oh, really? Sorry. Whatever. Here you go."
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine giving a shit. But yeah, so that would be my take. Is like I never have a great experience at the drive-thru. It's like that Lethal Weapon 2. You ever see that? Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I don't.
He nails it.
Drive-thru parts. What does he say?
He goes on a big rant about how they fuck you at the drive-thru because they get his order wrong, and he's right. So I'm out. I'm out on drive-thru. That just occurred to me. I'm out on drive-thrus, I think.
You know, it's not always. Sometimes it's user error. You know how more than one time when I was growing up on family vacations, we'd be driving from Omaha to Chicago, and we go to McDonald's for drive-thru, and they would hand my dad the sodas, and then he would just drive, and then we would go. And we'd be in the back like, hey, can you pass back a burger? I'm like, who's got the burger? And no one had them because we just left before we got the food.
That's hilarious. I've never heard of anybody doing that. That's great. That's like, you know what that is? That's like you're almost like you're nervous. And you're like, okay, got the money. Okay, good. Time to go. We got to go.
There's a big line behind us. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Hold up it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like you pay it forward, but instead of paying for the guys, you just leave your food for the next guy.
That would be a good. I wonder if any rappers ever done that, or like Rich Guy, where you're in line and then you just say, "Hey, here's my card," and just run the tab for everybody behind me. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know if it's feasible. You could just be like,
I would only do it if I get credit.
Like run it for like $1,000, and then the next, just for the next $1,000, it's on me or something. It probably cause problems.
Then that employee would get $1,000 and
exactly.
Get 2 PS5s.
It's funny you mentioned Taco Bell. I was thinking about this. I was walking my dog today, and because your bit about how Taco Bell does not give you diarrhea.
That was the bride's. Remember how I said that was my brother's girlfriend at the time? She pointed out that should be my topic.
Yeah.
He's married now.
Wow. Well, in honor of her, I guess. Congratulations, by the way. I'm sure she's a listener. My dog, she pooped, and then it was like a little soft, and then I was like, oh man, we probably shouldn't give her this wet food anymore. Just put her back on the dry. It's just funny to me, like dogs. We're not really fair to dogs because if a dog has diarrhea once, we're going right back to the most boring dry food I can find for the rest of your life. No more bones, no more fun stuff. But if I have diarrhea, I'm like, should I go to Wendy's again? I don't know. Do you think they'll recognize me, or was there a shift change? Is it too soon? Like literally as I'm on the toilet. Man, I'm putting a lot out here. So I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Should probably go back to Wendy's.
Yeah. Oh, I just emptied my tank. I gotta fill her
So
up
it's
again.
like we should be nicer to dogs about diet because it's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff happens, but it doesn't stop us from eating shit.
Yeah. I don't know. My dogs eat with such enthusiasm
Oh
that
yeah.
I mean, they don't seem unhappy about it at all.
Well, yeah, my dog used to be like that, but then she'll eat until she's like a tiny dog. She'd eat until she fell over if it's like human food or
So she's like me at a wedding.
yeah she she
Doesn't
would
know when to
purge.
stop.
Yeah, literally, you are like a dog. You like throw up on the grass and then like lick it up and that's how. But that is still by far the funniest wedding story ever. Is that you were puking in the bathroom and Aaron had to make up that you got too drunk because it was too embarrassing to say you had too much to eat.
Who did I tell that to? I told that story at the rehearsal dinner I did because they catered Chipotle catered
Oh my
the
God!
rehearsal, and it was like a
Did you?
buffet style.
Were
just
you the
couldn't
wedding
make your own.
planner? Were you the wedding planner for this?
Yeah, that's all I do. I specialize in just the meal for the rehearsal.
Chipotle catering for a wedding. This is
It was so good. You don't know, like I like Chipotle, but like if you can just go back and make it yourself and give yourself the portions that you want.
yeah.
Oh my God. I had 5 pork burritos or whatever with just pork, rice, beans, and cheese. Ah, it was so good. And I didn't puke. But I had to tell the story because I could tell, oof, if I don't keep an eye on myself, could have a repeat.
unlimited Chipotle. That's dangerous. It's like putting a crack addict in a crack den.
Right.
Good analogy by me. Shout out to the comedy stylings of me. I was gonna say one other thing. Oh, that reminds. But like, yeah, when you can, it's like the fantasy of like, if you were just in a Chipotle and you got to be behind the counter and just do it yourself and have access. Because then not one time, but like when we were in high school, my buddy got a job at a Baskin and Robbins. And then he just would he like rose to manager or whatever and just robbed the place blind. And he got to the point where he was so irresponsible, he would let us go back there during business hours and just like make our own milkshakes and these giant sundaes, never paying for anything. And it was exactly that. You're like, oh my God, I could do anything. I mean, I have access to ice cream and I could have done it at home, but for some reason being back there, it was mind blowing.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Did I back you up? I don't know.
Yes,
got there.
sufficient.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Here's my topic. So it's kind of on the subject of eating, but like, when I eat, I have to try so hard not to stain my clothes. Like I don't know what it is. Like the more I try, the more, and I think I got out of there successfully. Like then I'll look up and it's like, oh, there's an curable stain forever. You know, somehow, whether it's grease or spaghetti sauce or whatever, right?
Yes.
So here's my pitch or my topic. Any piece of clothing, and this should be a federal mandate, like a requirement, like like OSHA requires certain safety standards. They should require that any piece of clothing that costs more than $40 be stain proof forever. So
like
I don't know
that stuff that spray on it that like you can pour it and it just goes.
Exactly. Whatever that material is where it can't be stained, it has to be. If I pay more than $40 for it, it has to, because there's anytime I spend any money on clothes, just immediately like a giant unfixable stain. So, and it's so frustrating and it's so embarrassing. It's just to have a big fucking stupid stain on your nice shirt. It's just really debilitating. So it stops me from spending money on clothes, honestly, because like, why would I even buy a nice shirt? What am I gonna do with it? There's gonna be a big, marinara spot on it. We don't need.
Well, what do you do? So when that happens, is it just that shirt's like in the garbage can?
Well, what can you? I don't know. I mean, I hang on to it for a little while with hope. Maybe
never
after a
wearing
couple
it.
washes, or put the spray and wash on it. My mom's big on spray and wash. Doesn't always work. And then she's like, "Well, don't dry it. You wash it."
That locks it in.
Right, the dryer locks it in, but then it's like you never remember to separate it from the
Right.
stuff, so it always goes to the dryer.
Right.
So, that's my pitch. And
That's your
because we
proposal.
have the technology. I've seen stuff that it's like, oh, this doesn't stain. It like wicks off, So we know
Yeah,
we
but-
have it.
I see that in like the videos of it wicking off, but like, does it really work like that? And also, doesn't that stuff cause cancer or whatever they
Well,
put on
certainly,
shirts?
yeah.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
It's a trade-off. You will get cancer, but you'll be looking great, and you can eat like a pig.
right.
Because then think about how you could eat if you just
Oh
knew
God,
you couldn't
in a
stain your
drive-thru
clothes.
with no worries.
Oh, in a fancy dinner, or just sitting down, you could be flicking pasta noodles and spinning them around like you'd have no.
Yeah, like
you
we all
know?
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yes. I'll back that up.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Piece of cake.
Can you tell that I recently stained my clothing?
By your topic, not
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
looking at you.
Oh no, this sweatshirt. This is a white sweatshirt. Of course, it's got this little. I don't know what this is. Can you see it? Again, this is a podcast.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
stop. All right.
It's a tiny spot, right?
It's a tiny spot. It's enough to bother me, but most people might not.
That's why I was nervous to get that yellow sweater. Well, it was yellow, right? The one when you were here, I was wearing it. Were you wearing that sweatshirt when I thought it was pink, and you were like, "No, it's white."
Maybe.
Is that sweatshirt?
Yeah.
You talked about me being colorblind. Yeah.
Yeah,
When
I only
got
have
that
like
yellow
3.
sweatshirt. I was like, "Oof, that's asking for it."
What was I gonna say? Shoot. I don't know.
The shirt I wore to the wedding. I mean, I do not have a white dress shirt that is not disgustingly yellow around the collar.
Oh yeah.
That's just. I mean, that's
Well,
like
like,
you wear it once and that's just it's done.
I like when stuff is like dry clean only. It's like, dude, what century is this? You think I'm going
Yeah.
to the cleaners? You think I'm in dry?
I think I've been to a dry cleaner.
You
one
think I'm
time
in
my
Mad
life.
Men? I'm just gonna drop shirts off at the dry. Like, it's going through that washer, baby. That's the other thing.
Right, baby.
Federal mandate. All clothes have to be machine washable.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my decree.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oof.
All right. You
Ooh,
back
good
me up.
app. Good
Good
app.
app. Great app.
Oh my, great app. You're
Who
right.
could be
I'm
mad
sorry.
about that app?
I know.
Well, remember on the Patreon we got post-show banner and coming soon a DVD commentary of Evita
That's right.
that we
Get your
tune out of.
Patreon subscription in now.
Yeah. Leave a review like Carrie and just look how much we just cede to Carrie's will. You can have this much control over the show if you leave reviews.
You too could be Carrie Mahoney.
Yeah.
Is that her name? Yeah.
I don't know. But that's it. So, do you have anything you want to plug, Johnny?
Oh boy.
Okay, I'll go. I
You
know.
go.
I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in St. Louis, the one you were just at,
Oh yeah.
May 5th through the 8th.
Oh, that's
wow.
perfect. That's this coming weekend. according
Yeah.
to the drop date.
Smart. See, I did it right. And then I'll be at Stir Crazy Comedy Club in Phoenix, May 13th and 14th.
Is there more than one Stir Crazy?
I don't think so.
Is
Well, it's
it
not
like, have you
Phoenix.
been there
It's-
before?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, it's
upstairs.
like,
It's in Glendale by the
Yeah,
stadium.
Glendale. Okay.
Yeah. I say
will-
Phoenix, but yeah, you're right.
because it's close to Phoenix.
That's what I was going for there.
I will be at the in Monroe, Wisconsin. It's a comedy zone. I don't know if it's called. I think it's called the Monroe Performing Arts Center, but it's a comedy zone room, and that is the 7th, Saturday the 7th.
Nailed it.
Check it out.
All right, everybody. That's it. Thank you for listening to
The
Cavalry!
Cavalry!